Hey little hope, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having a good day. Today I'm also having a bad hair day, or I guess it's not a bad hair day, it's just yesterday I had a haircut and I still don't know how to get my hair to look good, because for me I like the way that it looks on the front, but on the sides I don't know, like I'm still not used to my side profile. I feel like it looks goofy, so that's why I'm wearing a hoodie. But anyways, I guess that doesn't matter. Today we're gonna be doing another episode on a safe space for uglies, and let me just tell you that I do appreciate the amount of support this like this section has gotten. There is a lot of people who are sending me messages and participating and stuff. So if you don't see your message in the video, I'm sorry, because there is a lot to go through, and I'm trying to pick the ones that are funny but also that are not that long, you know. So I'm trying to balance those two like qualities, I guess, because for this episode I asked you to tell me like bad breakup stories, right? And I appreciate the people who are sending me messages and stuff, but if you send me a story that's like multiple paragraphs or it's like 2 or 3 minutes long, I'm not gonna be able to put it on the video, because I don't want this video to be like 20-30 minutes. I want this video to be like 10-15 minutes at the most. So, you know, I'm not gonna put a story that's super long, even if it's like the funniest shit I ever heard. I'm not gonna put it. So yeah, I just want to say that, because I don't want you to be disappointed if you send me voice notes that are like 5 minutes and I don't put it on the video, you know. Like, I'm not ignoring you, I listen to the whole thing, but I can put on the video. So with that out of the way, I guess I'm gonna start reading the stories. So the first story comes from Allison, and it says, found out the guy that I was seeing for 2 years was seeing someone else for 1.5 years. I found a girl and we put 2 and 2 together. She had no idea about me. She ended up setting him up and getting her dad and 2 brothers to beat the fuck out of him. He found both of us on Hinge, blah blah blah. I love to share my story with more details, but I'm located in New York City. Like, why do we need to know that you're from New York? Like, what does that have to do with the story? Like, how the fuck is that preventing you from telling us more details about the story? But anyways, I'm glad that the story had a happy ending. I hope that you and the girl became friends at the end, because, you know, that's like a bonding experience. And I don't know, I guess this story shows like the importance of having a supportive family, you know, someone who has your back. And I don't know, I'm still confused as to why do you have to bring up the fact that you're from New York? But nonetheless, thank you for giving me the information. Yeah, I don't know, I guess I'm gonna move on. The next story comes from Melissa, and she sent 4 voice notes. I'm not gonna listen to all of them. I'm just gonna listen to the ones that are relevant to the story.
Hi, this is the story of MP. MP stands for micro penis. And this was my high school sweetheart. So this is like back in the 2016 days, right? So what like was leading up to the breakup was the fact that he really wanted to have sex, and I was at the time a virgin, and I didn't want to lose my virginity to the world's smallest penis. So I obviously didn't say that, but I kind of made a bet with him, because he said that he wanted to lose weight. So I gave him the initiative of like, okay, if you lose like, let's say 20-30 pounds, then we can have sex. Even though the guys was to encourage him to lose weight, for real, it's because I had looked up something that said if you lose weight, then maybe your penis would get bigger. And I was trying to like, you know, I was rooting for the homeboy. Fast forward, man, obviously never starts working out. And he starts getting really mad at me when I would bring up like, oh, so what did you do today? And he'd be like, nothing. Whatever, that kept going. And basically back in 2016, what was very popular was Kick. And so he was at the high school football game, and basically he had his best friend type out a long message on Kick on his behalf, breaking up with me and saying that he couldn't stand this shit anymore. And he just ended up blocking me on everything after that.
So I don't know, I feel like all of that could have been avoided if you broke up with him. Like, you already knew that he wasn't gonna be your first time, so I guess you were like anticipating breaking up with him and going with someone else. Now that he broke up with you, he kind of has like more, not power, but like he's gonna be able to like tell the story. And because he's the one that left instead of you, like he's able to like turn it however way he wants. But at the same time, I guess he kind of saved you from like the awkward conversation of you having to tell him like, you have a small dick, I don't want you. So I don't know, I guess you're right, you were right. And I don't know, he just sounds like a bitch. Like, he wasn't able to tell you face to face. Like, he thought that doing it through text was the best way, and he wasn't even able to do that. Like, he had to tell someone else to do it for him. So I guess he did you a favor in the end. So I'm happy for you that you're not with someone like that anymore. So, you know, I hope that right now you're fucking someone with a big dick. or that someone with a, you know, regular size dick. And I know I didn't listen to one of the voice notes, but those three were the most relevant, so I'm gonna move on to the next one. Coseri Spaghetti says, 5 years ago my first boyfriend was in love with me and I didn't really like him that much, so after a week apart with very little contact, I decided to break up with him when I got home. I invited him over and wrote him a note in case I didn't say everything correctly, and then he just started crying and was on the porch unable to talk for like 2 hours, just sitting there crying. I didn't know what to do, so I just got him water and asked him if there was anything I could do. He couldn't talk. He was crying so hard. My friend eventually came to pick me up and he was still there. I tried to get him to go home, but he wouldn't. So I was like, okay, I'm leaving. I don't know, man. I tried to get him to go home, but he wouldn't. And then his sister texted me telling me that I was a piece of shit for breaking his heart. Last night I hooked up with his distant cousin. I feel like, I don't know, you're the villain in this story. He didn't do anything wrong. Like, he cried, I guess. But I don't know, maybe he was like a little corny. I don't know. If the love wasn't there, then I guess it's good that you didn't fake it. It's good that you decided to not settle. I feel like you definitely could have picked a better way to go about it. But, you know, at the end of the day, you got the job done and you were nice enough to offer him water. Because for me, I would have been too like uncomfortable to like go out after 2 hours of my ex like crying on the front porch. So at least, I don't know, I guess you're better than me in that way. And dude, I want to be on your side, but like his cousin, I don't know, I guess you just want to make him like suffer. But again, you do you. I'm sure that you have your reasons, and even if you don't, I still support you. And regardless of how evil you are in the story, I'm only here to listen and to not judge. The next message comes from Koda and it says, the worst breakups are the ones that never happen. This is so fucking corny. I'm only reading it because, bitch, if you want to participate in this video, like if you want to send me your personal stories so I can react and read them, whatever, don't try to be deep. You're just gonna look goofy. I don't know, when I read it, I just started laughing because, bitch, like what do you expect me to feel when reading that? Like I wasn't gonna be moved. Like, bitch, all you have to do is answer the question. It's not that hard. But thank you though, thank you for participating, for trying. Respectfully, don't answer stuff like that. The next story comes from Carmelia and it says, he was with other girls behind my back, so I slept with his friend / boss by accident. I taunted him with this, he figured it out through another friend. Then he tried to gaslight me into feeling guilty, believing that he was loyal, even though I knew that he wasn't. Blocked him twice, reconnected to fit things. He asked me out, but I ghosted and distanced myself from his toxic ass while I was at the psych ward for a bit. I returned for another round and then ghosted because his boss is cured than him. Bitch, what the fuck? So I guess you're still talking, right? Because it says once in a while I still talk to him about it. Like, you're still in contact, right? So I don't know, I feel like you didn't learn anything from the psych ward. Like, you're still gonna go back to him sooner or later. Right now you're teasing him, but that's gonna turn into more. Because I had a friend who would make fun of a guy for having a small dick and then fuck him in secret. So I feel like, I don't know, hopefully that's not the case. It seems like you're bad for each other. But if you do end up like getting back together, just cheat on him, because I feel like he doesn't deserve any like loyalty from you. So if you're gonna get back with him, cheat on him. I know throughout the paragraph you're saying that, you know, his boss is cuter, you're taunting him, whatever. That's how it starts. You start teasing and then he's gonna come up with something like, let me prove you wrong or something like that. And I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it. So I know you didn't ask for advice, but I recommend for you to not talk to him at all, because sooner or later, you know, it might be a week from now or a year from now, you two are gonna end up fucking. The next story comes from Emily, and before I start, I just want to say trigger warning with verbal abuse. So yeah, my breakup with my first ex, he was super abusive and controlling. Like, I couldn't have friends of any gender because he thought that I would be cheating on him. The night before we ended it, he got drunk and said that he was glad that I was medium ugly because he knew that I would never cheat on him. And then he started crying when I got mad at that. He then made me stay up all night to comfort him. He told me I didn't care about him and we had to go to his mommy's. We stayed there all night so his mommy could comfort him. And when we got home in the morning, she called me to make sure that he would get up to his doctor's appointment. And then I told him I want to break up right there, and he then started crying and speeding, so I wouldn't be able to get out of the car. And yeah, something that I also had to learn was that you should never break up with someone while they're driving, or I guess just in general when you're in a car. Overall, like don't break up with anyone, because at the very least it's gonna be uncomfortable. You two are in a closed space, but besides that, I'm sorry that you had to deal with a man child for 2 years. Hopefully right now you're dating someone who you know is worth it, or if you're not dating anyone, hopefully you're comfortable alone. Hopefully you get to the point where you're not settling anymore, and also you're not ugly, you know, like you're different. And there's also people who don't care about like the outside, you know, so I'm sure that you're gonna find someone. um I don't know. I don't know if I'm taking it too far. I don't know if I should be joking about this one, because when I read it on my head, it sounded, you know, somewhat serious. I feel like it would be okay if I made that joke, but now that I read it like out loud, I don't know, you should consider going to therapy. I don't know, 100% you should go to therapy. I was planning on reading a couple more, but I feel like this will be a good place to end it. Now that I'm thinking back to all of the stories, I feel like for half of them, you were the villain. You were the ones who were breaking the other person's heart. Like the girl who hooked up with his cousin, the micro penis girl, was the other one, Carmelia, the one that slept with his man's boss. I don't know. I feel like maybe we should take a step back and think about our choices, you know, how they affect others. I'm not judging. I'm sure that you had a good reason to do what you did. Because, you know, there's a lot of context that I'm missing. So I'm sure that the people who watch me or who follow me are no assholes. So yeah, I have faith in you. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. If you want to support me, please look at the description. I have an online store, like the sticker that you're seeing, I sell it. OnlyFans, Cameo, and my other social media accounts. So if you want to support me, please click on it. And yeah, I don't know. Hope you like the video. Mwah.